Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Inês, I'm an artist and illustrator, and in this week's video I'm going to show you how I draw sausage dogs. However, I'm not going to focus on just a random sausage dog, obviously. I'm going to draw my sister's pet that is called Lily. Lily is just an amazing dog. She's really funny, she's really sweet, she's really sassy, and she's like super intelligent. When she was a puppy, she had a difficult time because Tackles or Dachshunds, that are commonly known as sausage dogs, have like a really strong personality that sometimes people confuse with stubbornness and thinking that they are not smart because they don't do everything that you want. But it's quite the contrary. They are really intelligent dogs. Lily has been just a joy to have in the family. One of the traits that she has, and I can show you here a video of her doing that, is that when she wants to eat or go outside, she just puts herself in two paws and then just starts praying, almost like begging for you to either give her food or to go outside with her. So she has her own specific way of being persuasive, and that specific characteristic and other traits I think are really interesting in terms of character exploration. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do character exploration of Lily. I'm going to show you in different types of sketching, posing, how I draw a sausage dog, and at the same time showing her expressions, her types of positions, and hopefully show what her personality is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of the sketches and I'm going to finish it on Procreate on my iPad as a digital painting, similarly of what I did in the past video with my fat cat that you can watch here if you haven't already. So without further ado, basically what I'm going to use today in terms of materials is my Rendr Sketchbook from Crescent. I'm going to use for my sketching my Blackwing matte pencil. For the rendering and shading, I'm going to use my Farber-Castell watercolor markers and my Ecoline Brush pen watercolor markers. And I'm going to use one of my favorite art supplies ever in terms of painting with markers, which is my Ecoline Blender. This is the stuff, trust me. I really love this because I can just put down the paint from the other markers without really thinking about making it too perfect, and then I just go there and just blend it all and the strokes disappear. So it's really nice. And if you like to do some sort of watercolor marker paintings, I really advise you to try this if you haven't already. It's amazing stuff. And for the line work, I'm going to use my Micron pens in different thicknesses, and I'm going to use also my Pigma FB Sakura marker to do lines that vary in thickness. So if you are interested to see how I do character exploration of a sausage dog, in particular Lily, keep watching the video. I start by drawing 3 circles to build the structure of the body. One for the head, one for the chest, and another for the hip area. Then I join them and add more complex shapes. I do this for most of the sketches. It's always the same process. What changes is the position those circles and geometric lines will be. In this sketch, I focus on the guilty look Lily gives us when she does something she's not supposed to. She even goes to the grounding place by herself, that we call castigo. We know once she disappears for some reason, she's probably up to something. I even used this as an illustration theme. I used this for a Christmas card, as a naughty dog kind of thing. It was really fun to do. But she's just so cute and funny at the same time. It's just, we love her. I proceed for an attentive pose. Lily doesn't miss anything. Even though she's a tiny dog, she's a great guard dog. And yeah, don't mess with Lily. This pose represents her curiosity. Lily also loves to go outside and run, jump and have fun. Even though she is not a puppy anymore, her soul will always be one of a puppy. She really loves to be outside and just run around the block and be with other dogs as well. She's really, really amazing. The funny thing about sausage dogs is that even though they have like the tiniest legs, they run really fast and they love to chase things and play. They also have a very good sense of smell, so being outside is just a joy and a pool of sensory experiences for them. So if you have a sausage dog, please just make sure you have time and access to being outside. They really need to shake off their energy. They are really energetic dogs. I struggled a little bit with this pose in the beginning, but I ended up settling on showing Lily in a do not disturb mode. She's so funny because she can get cranky when she's sleepy. Here I started by wanting to represent her mad, but I ended up changing it because it's not really that common, and I ended up showing her doing her cute puppy eyes, which is so darn cute, and she does that constantly. Lily is an incredible, intelligent and curious dog. She'll try to figure things out and be on top of everything. By this point, I have forgotten to find a good place for her best pose, the begging praying pose. That one just melts our hearts. I just wish I planned this a bit better, but oh well, it's the process and it is what it is. I add shading and lining to the sketches. I use the Micron Pigma PN from Sakura. It's a similar pen from the FB Pigma Pen. I would say maybe it's a bit stiffer, so I think it's almost a pen between the Micron Pigma pens and the Pigma FB pen. It is still a pen that allows a lot of expressive lines, which I like personally. I vary my process sometimes in terms of what I do first. You can see I lined the sketches first on the left page and I shaded first on the right page. I just wanted to see if there's any difference in the end result and test a theory. And to be honest, I like to change my ways of doing things during my process because if I do everything by the book, I get bored. And changing things up helps me to stay motivated and want to finish the actual drawing. So I need these types of motivation of changing things in the middle of the process. I think the biggest difference I noticed in the different order of the process is that when you add lines to a previously shaded drawing, the sketch immediately is brought to life. When you line first, it also happens to some extent, but I think it's only when you shade it that the drawing is finished. So, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't think I will be choosing between the two methods anyway. I need both to keep the motivation going, I guess. By this point, the first layer of shading is done. I later add darker hues. Even though Lily is black, I didn't want to use a straight black in this case because I didn't want to lose the volume. Maybe I should have risked it by this point, but I do like how it looks in the end. If it could be better, obviously, but that's the point, to get better every time we do something. We just need to keep doing it. Here I'm using the Ecoline Blender marker. See how it helps to make gradients and a seamless transition between tones? I know I said it before, but for me this was a game changer in my marker painting techniques. The good thing about this is that it doesn't add any color to the blending. Maybe now because I used it so much it's a bit tinted, but still I do love how it blends the marker lines so well. I really love this. I add finishing touches to the drawings and darker hues. Doing this was truly a joy. Lily is a great model and she does really have a lot of personality, which helps. She's also incredibly expressive, and so she is really the perfect subject for character exploration. I then select a pose to do in digital painting. I chose the praying/begging pose. I outline the drawing, add color, shading. And this is how the drawing looks in the end. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the final sketches of Lily. I really love some of the positions, other not so much, but I think it's part of the process anyway. Overall, I think all these different poses represent Lily in a specific way. And I think I can ask again my sister if she thinks it portrays Lily well, but I think so. And I used this position because I think it's one of the ones that I think represents her as an individual more than the other ones. As my digital painting, you can find it here. I really like how it looks in the end. And yeah, basically that's it. I think, as I said in the other video, drawing pets or anything that you love, it's so good, and I don't think I will stop, because in my opinion, drawing things in your life is what an artist do, even though sometimes you can draw something like for a sci-fi piece or something that is not related with your reality. However, I think you will introduce elements of your own life, of your own experiences in your own art pieces. I think it's great, and it's a great way of observing things around you. I really enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed too. If you like these types of videos, please give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!